We hope you're looking forward to today's qualifying in Hungary as much as we are. We think it's going to be a cracker. Well, the rain is falling here in Hungary, so my pre-weekend prediction of a Lewis Hamilton pole might just be in jeopardy.
A wet track is always a challenge even for the best drivers, but Lewis has proven he can drive well in the rain. Ultimately though, it's the strategy the team and driver decide on that could have the biggest impact on his race tomorrow.
Hey guys, how's it going? Owners here, and welcome to a very new F1 2015 video. It's indeed been a long time since I last made a video on F1 2015, but I am back, and the reason why it has taken such a long time is I did not look forward to commentating on this video, and I think the reason for that will be very clear towards the end of the race. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that, but it's not going to be the best race of the season, I can guarantee you that. So this was a bit of a this is a bit of a race I am not looking forward to in terms of commentating. However, it's qualifying time first. We're currently in P2 and Hamilton just set a 1:33.250, so about a full second quicker than we have set at the moment. We definitely will be trying to improve there. Currently after the first sector, 200 up on Hamilton. Going through the second sector over here. This was my fourth lap in the session, as you can see at the top right. And it was pouring down with rain, to be honest. It never got really dry in the session. It also didn't start out dry, so it was full wet straight away from the beginning. Excuse me. I'm trying to get a bit of a feel for it over here. It has been such a long while ago since I recorded this race, so it's a bit of a surprise for me as well what is going to happen. I edited this video probably about a month ago, but as I said, I just haven't commentated on it until now. I think after this race though comes Spa and then Monza, and those are going to be two fantastic races, so we have to bite through it, so to say, through this video, because this is, as I said, not the best ever. Setting 1:33.602, 3.5 tenths down on Hamilton, so I'm not up to pace with Hamilton, definitely not. But obviously you get another run in over here at the end of the qualifying. Just under 2 minutes to go. We set another lap time over here. Hopefully we have got 33.2 to beat, most likely, if that is still the pole time from Hamilton, provisional pole obviously. First sector here, braking rather late for the first turn, missing the apex a little bit, but getting nicely on the power. Although having said that, a little bit of oversteer there as I couldn't really find the traction. Braking over here, bit of a tire squeaking, bit of a lock up most likely going on over there, obviously pushing quite a bit. I've set a banker lap, good enough for P2 at the moment. Maybe some drivers will still improve, so I need to make sure that I do a better job as well. And 2 tenths up in the first sector there on Hamilton. Very nice first sector indeed, but we need to keep this flow going through the second and third sector as well. I think the third sector is the one where I lost in particular most of my time last time round. Braking just before the 50 meter board in the dry, it would be at the 50 meter board, I'm sure. And a big oversteer moment, and in fact going to hit the wall. That is a poor mistake by me. I do another lap though, as I didn't have any damage. I complete the lap and so setting another one, but 9 seconds to go. We crossed the line. But that last lap, that looked really good after the first sector, and so that's why it's such a big shame that I made that mistake. Surprisingly though, no damage, and we keep on going. As you can see, just a lot of sliding going on here in general because of the rain. Trying to look for the traction, but not really able to do so and find it. But what a poor mistake from me there through the chicane. Just already was sliding through it, and then if you apply the power too early, which I definitely did over there, just going to lose it, and you are a pilot, or well, a pilot, you are a sitting duck, so to say. 2.5 tenths up again though, excuse me, after the first sector on Hamilton, which is good news. Get a bit of sliding going on through there, but so far so good. Riding the curb there, which is dangerous in the rain because curbs are slippery again though, the chicane, making a bit of a mess of it. Luckily though, I keep it on track this time, but that was definitely not the fastest way through there. Coming through the section here, left and right. Make sure you hit the curb, but it's so wet and you don't want to extend the corners, because if you do on the outside of those corners, it is even more wet. Keeping it on track over here, hopefully, just about, I think. But I lost a lot of time in that middle sector, obviously, and now we are 2 thousandths down at the end of the second sector, and I make a mess of that corner as well, so we end our run.
Fastest lap means he's on pole for tomorrow's race.
Well, it was a fantastic result, but he'll know you don't get any points on a Saturday, And to make this a great weekend for the team, he needs to do the same thing tomorrow.
Welcome to the twisting corners of the Hungaroring, a popular track which has crowned 2 world champions in its history. It's time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Here's today's pole sitter, Lewis Hamilton. When I was speaking to him early on, I got the sense that he has total confidence in himself and his Mercedes car to take that race victory today.
He has clean air in front of him, so we'll be hoping he can create a gap over the first few laps. If the cars in second and third can keep close until the first round of pit stops, then they may be able to take advantage on the undercut.
It was a disappointing day for Fernando Alonso yesterday. He's starting further down the grid than he would have liked, but he'll still be hoping for a strong result today.
Well, Fernando is a great starter, and he'll be looking to make up a few places on that first lap to try and get himself back into a position that he's more familiar with.
33.1 in the end from Hamilton there, so he did indeed improve. A rather impressive time from him. And that means obviously we are starting from second place. Are we going for the option though or the prime? I have the choice here, and most likely I'm going to stick with the option, and it does look like it indeed. So it's going to be a free stop, but yeah, we'll see during the race how it develops in terms of tire wear, of course, as we have got 5 lights. We're racing over here. Really good start from Hamilton over there, just pulling away instantly. We, as usual, get a really shit start, and 2 Ferraris already flying by us. Raikkonen on the inside over here. On the outside is Ricciardo, I believe. Going to turn 1 though, already lost a lot of position up to P4 at the moment. Tries to go on the outside of Raikkonen, which becomes the middle line, so to say, because Ricciardo comes even more on the outside of turn 1. Have the inside line for turn 2, but I brake rather late over there. Was pretty brave, so to say, because Raikkonen was on the outside as well, and I don't want to shove him off the track, but that ended pretty well, better than I thought it would. And so we get up to P3 behind Vettel, but Hamilton just flew away at the start there. Nothing I could do. It's a relatively long run down to turn 1, and I didn't get the best start at all. However, this is my first experience, and obviously in the dry, and I noticed that there was so much grip in the dry, so much more compared to the wet, even with the heavy fuel we are currently running. So it will take me a bit of time, most likely, to get used to the dry track. Having said that, it's not that difficult at all, so I shouldn't make such a big issue out of it. But a second down on Vettel here, obviously the first lap, and we are going to look behind most likely, because I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm able to keep up with these guys, but you don't know. Remember that the gap to Vettel was 8/10 at the end of the second sector. We'll have a look what it is over here as we finish off the first lap and also the third sector, and it indeed, well, 1.3 seconds, so I actually lost 6/10 in that final sector, which is a lot. 1.1 seconds to Raikkonen, was 1.1 to Vettel. I'm not sure, the timing looked a little bit confusing over there. However, we'll be trying to attack those guys, maybe with a different strategy later on in the race. But as I said, we have to look and see how that pans out. 50 kilograms remaining, no issues there, obviously no surprises either. 1.6 seconds to Vettel now, the end of lap 3. Raikkonen definitely pulled in, or closed down on us, I should say. There's a car behind Raikkonen as well, and he has got a car relatively close to him as well. I presume it's Ricciardo and maybe Rosberg, because Rosberg is nowhere at the moment. At least he's not in the top 4. As Raikkonen comes here with DRS. DRS has been activated, I think. He's going to try to do it around the outside. I went to Rich Mixer, tried to defend from him. Obviously both cars have got Ferrari power units. In the end we managed to keep in front of Raikkonen, but it just shows that Raikkonen is starting to attack more and more. We are losing pace as well. Look at the gap Vettel has created. It is now 2.4 seconds, and Raikkonen is just a tenth behind us. Again he tries to do it around the outside. Can he do it this time? No, braking right away for the first corner. Bit of a luck up, but I can easily make the corner, so no issues there whatsoever. And we keep in front of Raikkonen. He will get DRS here once again for the run down to turn 2. He's too far back, I think, going to Rich Mixer just to make sure that he cannot get past, and he indeed doesn't do so. So it's all about who's behind Raikkonen as well, because those guys could become an issue as well and could come into play in this battle for the podium spot. But it definitely does not look like we have the pace to challenge for either P2 or a victory. A victory is even more out of the window, so to say. So an onboard lap here, lap 6 of the race. Is it about halfway through the tire stint? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's already, the pitting window is already at lap 8. I should keep an eye out on that. As I said, it's been a long while since I last edited this video, and even a longer while ago since I recorded it, or when I recorded it I should say. So I don't exactly remember all the things, but that's maybe good. Maybe a bit of a surprising thing for me as well. Nice to commentate on. 2.5 seconds, the gap to Sebastian Vettel. Raikkonen still pressuring us from behind. You can see over here I was just not confident at all in the final second. I don't know what it was, but especially the corner we just went through. So the penultimate corner, I just could not hook it up right. And here we just pick up quite a bit of understeer. I went with quite low downforce, I believe. And that is the reason why the guys around us are mostly faster in the corners, especially over here. I just pick up so much understeer here the whole time. Lap 9 of the race, nobody pitting up front. Raikkonen behind doesn't pit either, so everyone stays out for the moment. I'm wondering though, who is in P5 at the moment? This is Rosberg. It has got to be Rosberg, you would say. I don't know. We'll see. It's Raikkonen on the inside over here. Fantastic move by Raikkonen, doing a bit of a dummy, in fact. It's Ricciardo, in fact, in P5. As I break myself completely into here. And surely Raikkonen is going to take the place. Yes! A really nice move from Raikkonen there, who caught me off guard. I thought I had the inside line covered, but Raikkonen did a beautiful dummy. As you can see over here, yeah, I just need to relax from that. Bit of a lock up going into turn 2, bit of a track extend over there as well. Tires obviously are starting to wear more and more, and I thought I would make the first corner. I was rather aggressive going into it though, a bit too much. And then that was it. We went too deep into the corner and Raikkonen took advantage of that beautifully. Unfortunately, we have to give that final podium spot to Raikkonen though. Having said that, I think that he deserves it, because we just simply do not have the pace around this track, which is something I did not totally expect. Maybe I should have gone with different downforce levels. Oh, having said that, I am not entirely sure anymore what I was running anyway, so it doesn't make that much of a difference, I don't think. But Raikkonen instantly pulling away 1.2 seconds already. And once again, we're looking behind at Ricciardo, who's in P5, and most likely he's going to close the gap a bit. Raikkonen going to pit? Yes, he does indeed. So Raikkonen is the first guy to pit, I believe. I doubt Hamilton has gone into the pit lane. Let me have a quick look at the minimap, but I think he stayed out. Yes, so Hamilton stayed out as well. So Raikkonen the first guy to pit. Means we are moving back up to P3. Lap 11 of the race. Raikkonen went in on lap 10. Lap 11 of the race. Ricciardo goes in, Vettel goes in, and Hamilton goes in as well. I decide to stay out, surprisingly, which means that well, we are currently leading in this race. Of course, it's a rather short pit lane though, but I stay out for the moment. Lap 12 of the race. Remember that we are currently driving on options, and I'm not going to lie, I was honestly looking at the one stop. I do not know why. I felt really desperate during that race because we just simply did not have the pace, and I thought I have to come up with something else. But you can see over here how much understeer I'm picking up, and it's only lap 13. If I want to make this one last, I have to go to lap 15 at least, but preferably 16 or 17, because if you do 15 you've got to do 20 on the primes. That's also quite a bit of a demanding task, I believe. But we are going so slowly over here, and yeah, I doubt whether it's worth it. We have to see, of course. We don't know yet, but maybe it's a stupid choice. You can see that on the braking, just the instability. And Raikkonen, I think, has closed up on Vettel a little bit as Hamilton goes on the outside over here. I heard a little bit of contact there, but Hamilton with the fresher tires able to get by there, and I still decide to stay out. And yeah, watching this back with benefit of hindsight, I should have gone into the pit, but at this time it makes no sense to stay out. Well, I mean, it's difficult for me to explain, as you can tell, why I stayed out. What was going on in my mind, I don't know. I really don't know. Most likely just looking at that one stop. I probably made the decision in like lap 11 or something. Like, you know, I'm gonna do a one stop as I get another Ferrari on the inside, which is Vettel, sticking it around the outside over here. So I'm definitely trying to battle with them, but you know, I've got to be realistic. Those guys have got the better tires. They're again on options as well, I believe, as Raikkonen will get through most likely as well very soon. In fact, he already is through. Nice move by him around the outside as Bottas moves himself up into P5, which is quite a bit of a surprise. But good from Rosberg. Ricciardo is suddenly out of the picture. No idea where he went. Lap 15 of the race though, and I'm still staying out. But why? Yeah, I don't know. It's just stupid. It is really stupid. Bottas flying by there. there's no grip for me at the moment. I'm a danger, to be honest, both for other drivers and for myself as well, because it is very easy to crash out right now. I might even pick up a puncture. Look at that, just a lot of oversteer there, a lot of wheel spin, of course. But I shouldn't act like it's a surprise, because it's not. It's my fault that I didn't go into the pit lane. But I made a decision probably already 4 laps ago, like, you know, just go for a one stop, because it wasn't working at the time, but this is working even less. And when you have a situation like that, you should just say, you know, let's try to pick up the maximum amount of points. And yeah, this way, this strategy doesn't look like I will be picking up the maximum amount of points. So poor decision by me, very poor. Engineer telling me I have to pit in this lap, which is a good call. But whether I will do that is the question, of course. I have to look at this. Drifting through here almost. And we lost about 6 seconds to Bottas, 5 seconds on that last lap. I mean, come on, why don't you pit, you know? Lap 15 of the race though, I do enter the pit lane. At the time I was in lap 13. I was probably like, you know, you've come to this stage, then you may go as well to lap 15. I don't know why, but that's probably what I thought. Maybe still keep a little eye out on that one stop, but yeah, I doubt it will work. You have to see now how these primes behave. That's the thing as well. You don't always know how the primes behave compared to the options. Maybe the prime will go a lot longer than the option set. You do not know it always. So Alonso is behind us, so we feed out in P12 outside the points. That is no surprise, but this stint is going to be crucial for us then. Most of these guys are most likely on options. We are on prime at the moment. Those guys are going in there though for their second stop. Down the main straight over here and opening up lap 17. Good luck up there going into turn 1. Currently behind a Button. And indeed, as the engineer says, they're up to P9 because some drivers pitted. But this thing is going to be crucial. I've done 2 laps on this set of primes so far. We need to do another 18. Yeah, 20 laps. It seems too much. It honestly seems too much. But yeah, I was so desperate most likely in that first thing. It was like, I'm too slow. I have to come up with something else. Rather than being clever and realistic. Most likely realistic, because doing a one stop is not realistic, I don't think. Yeah, I just lost sight of that realism. And I created some kind of ideology where I thought a one stop could work. But I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Nevertheless though, that is all behind us. We have to keep on pushing. Currently on the prime tire, we are most likely going to do one more option stint after this. So it's going to be a 2-stop. But that's not a surprise. We are currently quicker though than Button. It's at least satisfying to know that you're quicker than the McLaren Honda. Going to have DRS on this McLaren Honda as well. Going up to Rich Mixer with the Ferrari power unit. DRS wide open for the run down to turn 1 as well. Let's see, we pick up the stitching going on the inside. Most likely Button does defend the inside. Braking slightly late in the Button. Making the apex nicely. And Button knows it. Ooh, bit of a oversteer moment there as I opened up the DRS. That was a bit close. Luckily kept it on track. Up to P8 then, and a bit of a gap to Bottas up ahead, which is now Massa in lap 22. And Alonso behind is sticking with us quite nicely. Having said that, I don't think it's Alonso behind. It's probably Hamilton who's going to lap us. Is it? Bit of a question mark over there, I'm not entirely sure. It's probably a leader of the race, Hamilton. Oh, having said it, Rosberg is in the lead. Wow. That comes completely out of nowhere. We haven't seen Rosberg at all, I think, during this race. Up to P6, there's a guy who just went into the pit lane, which is Ricciardo. He's currently on fresh tires, so he'll be a threat to us coming to the end of this stint. If we want to do a one stop, we've got 12 more laps to go. Which doesn't seem that much around the Hungaoring, but yeah, if we go for that one stop, I'm sure those final 5 laps are going to be hell. 10.3 seconds to Bottas, 3.7 seconds to Ricciardo, who's got fresh tires. Obviously a little bit clueless as well about strategy from the AI at this stage. I was obviously not paying attention to that, but most likely only paying attention to my own strategy, which I severely messed up, let's be honest. But it's that's the way it goes sometimes. It's racing. Sometimes make mistakes, but at least I tried. But we know that it didn't work. 9.9 to Bottas, so quicker than Bottas at this stage, good news. And Ricciardo obviously on cold tires, extending the gap to him as well, but it's not going to take long for him to reduce that gap again as soon as his tires are warmed up. Remember, he's on fresh primes most likely. He will most likely finish the race on those primes as well. Around the final corner we come, and a completed lap 23, bit of oversteer moment on the exit of the final corner. Doing a 125.6 at the moment, about a second off our fastest lap time, and Rosberg is currently in P5, so probably just made a pit stop. But apparently Rosberg was in the lead before, which was quite an interesting message from the engineer, because I did not expect that, to be honest. 11 more laps to go. You would think that the 9 laps on the option tires would be doable. Ooh, a big corner extend there, very dirty. That's not what you want to see. It's absolutely not what you want to see. But obviously there as well. Just a rather, I don't know, rather remarkable race. I am definitely pushing at this stage, of course, but yeah, we have been compromised, of course. But I think I'm aiming at lap 25, 26 perhaps to make a stop for option. Maybe even this lap. Remember that we are on lower fuel than we started the race with. Another track extend over there. 5.3 the gap to Rosberg. Maybe we are going to pit this lap, in fact. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. So I have to do 11 laps and on the option. Let's see. Pit or not? Nope, I decided to stay out. So still staying out then. But you saw at the beginning of the lap, I think in the first sector I showed it, the tire wear indicator. Here again, like right there, they are already yellow. So doing another 10 laps here is not a smart idea. But it was also not a smart idea to go to lap 15 on the option, but I also did that. So let's take every single strategy into consideration. Jumping over those curbs. I know it's a bit of a corner cut. I mean, it's definitely not within the rules. The rules say that you have to keep within the white lines at all times. But yeah, those curbs are so big. You tend to take a lot of the curbs there. Hungaoring is a pretty terrible track anyway in terms of track extension and corner cutting and whatnot. But still, you need to keep it clean. It's no excuse to well, to exceed track limits. Big oversteer over there as well. Lap 25 of the race though. This is exactly what I told you. I think this is a good call. Coming into the pit lane for the option tires just once more and doing 10 laps. That's a much better call than staying out 10 more laps and do a one stop, of course. But yeah, coming in from P6 I think. And we're obviously going to drop further back, but I have to push as hard as I can for this final stint. Option tires for us though. 2.3 second stop, so that's relatively good. And feeling out behind Felipe Nasr in a Williams. So P8, not too bad. There are two guys up front. I think Massa and Bottas. I'm not entirely sure though, as there's a McLaren Honda and the points. They will be happy. Button in P9. With honesty there. Cold tires still. You can see immediately you look at the temperature graphic. Just trying to see when the tires are going to warm up and how warm they actually are. Rear tires tend to heat up quicker, especially around a track like this. You know, exit of slow corners, straight away actually exit the pit. Such as turn 1, turn 2 is a rather slow one as well. It goes downhill too. That's where the rears are starting to heat up because of wheel spin. It's a driver in front of Massa who is going a bit slowly. It might even be a back marker as well. Looking at it right now, Massa goes on the inside of that guy. Is it the back marker though? Yes, it is. Okay. It's a manner. Surprise. 9 more laps to go. Roberto Maria ahead. Obviously a back marker. You should get out of the way soon. He in fact gets already out of the way because he's going to pit. We're going to pick up DRS as well. That would be really nice. That could help us a bit chasing down Massa. Answer is no though. we don't have DRS. And the gap to Massa is 1.8 seconds. But we're currently on the fly with the option tires and 2 guys in front of Massa. I have no idea whether that's for position or whether it are actually cars which are back markers. Nicely through that first turn. We've still got a bit of fuel as well, which is really good. We can burn that off in our chase for Massa. But obviously, if I overtake Massa, it's only going to be P7. It would be nice if we can pick up another couple of positions at least. 1.3 now, the gap. And 8 more laps to go. Bit of oversteer there on the curb. Definitely pushing. Again, going fully over the curbs over there. Bit of oversteer once again. I'm really playing with the power. Look at that. I cannot really comment on that. It's just insane to see how much I'm sliding. Tires won't like it. Again, missing the apex over there. You see, yeah, that's what I mean. It just gets so frustrated with me right now as well. I'm just so much fire. It's a bit too much. Sometimes fire in yourself can get the best out of you, I'm sure. Sometimes it also makes you go a bit wide here, miss the apex there, oversteer here, sliding with the tires, having more tire wear because of that as well. And frustrating times. DRS though, that's good. That's good news. But obviously we need to keep in mind as well that Massa has got a nice Mercedes powered engine under his belt. Very, very nice for the first turn. I'm sorry. So where are we going to overtake Massa? Back marker in front. That's a battle for P8. Massa obviously on the prime tire. Remember that we have the extra grip. Picking up the slip from over here. I think we're too far back though. And going down to standard indeed. We are too far back. Do have a look on the inside over here perhaps? No, Massa fence the inside. We're gonna try to go around the outside over here. Surely not. It would be a very nice move if we can pull it off. He's still alongside me. We're gonna have to go around the outside of the hairpin. Oh, sorry, the chicane, which is not an overtaking spot at all. But we somehow managed to do it. Good behavior from Massa as well, leaving room on the outside over there while we try to go around the outside. That was a nice move if I say so myself. But also very good driving from Massa. Back marker Stevens up front, blue flags, he goes out of the way nicely, no issues there whatsoever. Up to P7 and 7.4 seconds to Bottas. If we want to close the gap to him, I would have to gain about 1 second per lap. But it seemed like I was doing that because you can see at the end of lap 34 and a big oversteer moment at the exit of the final corner. The gap to Bottas is not 7.4 seconds anymore, it is 1.7 seconds in fact. Still setting 126 though, that means that the tire wear is definitely a issue at the moment. You can see they're sliding a bit into the first corner. I got out to Bottas, but I think from lap 34 onwards or so. That's the point where you then start to feel the tire wear kicking in. Bottas in front on the primes, he most likely managed to whoa, keep it on track. Holy cow, that was close. Bottas most likely managed his tires a little bit for this final stint, and so it's 2.3 seconds. And I knew over here that no chance. You can see how much sliding there is over here. And I tend at the final laps, I just tend to, when you have nothing to play for, I just tend to have a bit of fun and slide and whatnot. You can see it over here as well. There we go, a bit of sliding. I don't know why I do that, because at some stage this is going to go horribly wrong where I spin or something, Look at that. I don't know why, it's just too much fun to do it, I guess, but it could cost me in the end. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something. This is a big spoiler, but it is going to cost us something, because look at this, drifting through this penultimate corner. We've got one more corner to go. The gap to Massa is quite a big gap. Look what I'm going to do here in this final corner though, and I go too much on the outside, and there we go, spinning, and that is really stupid. Then I put it in reverse, no idea why, and I even struggled to find reverse, and I am right here like, oh, reverse only goes up to 50 kph. Massa comes by. I say to Massa, F-U-C-K-U, and I touch him, and over here I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? What did I just do? I mean, I just, no comment. No comment at all. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to finish this race, of course, still. So, there we go, P8. But what I did there with Massa was stupid. Very stupid. it was bound to go wrong sometime in that final lap if I kept drifting and whatnot. It's one of those races though where I was like, meh, you know.
Another win for the Brackley-based team. What a car they've got this year.
It really was a great performance, and one that I think will be remembered for a long time to come.
That's it for today's Grand Prix.
Second in the championship, 11 points behind Rosberg. Not bad at all after such a disastrous race, and very stupid what I did obviously in that final corner. It was a bit stupid to go to reverse anyway. I thought it would be a bit quicker, but yeah, what I did to Massa was something I should have never done. But it was one of those races where you think like, F you say key it, and that was indeed the case. However, I'm going to end this video over here. Don't take this too serious, I guess. Bit of a weird race, I've got to say. But next time I will be back stronger, hopefully, and hopefully, doing a bit of a better job. I'm sure we will, because as I said, next 2 races are going to be incredibly exciting. So I thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like, and I apologize once again for the lack of videos in the last couple of days. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Have a good time.